Most of the time when we go down there, or all the times that I've been down, we'll go down, camp halfway, and then take take a day pack, and we'll hike all the way down to the Escalante River, which, round trip's about 12 miles down, down and back for the day hike. And the lower part of the canyon is really pretty neat.
It's beautiful, yeah.
Even though it's wide at the top, that kind of narrows out at the bottom. We saw deer in there the last time that we were there, if you recall.
Yep.
But you get down and you kind of see where the water has backed up from time to time from Lake Powell.
That's right. It gets a little muddy sometimes.
Right, depending on the season. And depending on the flow in Escalante, you can even hike up and down Escalante a little bit. Stevens Arch.
Right at the just upriver from the confluence.
Yep. So there's a couple of spots where you have to down climb. There's one spot where you down climb a little log, but but the lower part of the canyon is definitely worth spending the time to get yourself down to.
Yep. One of the things that we've had happen a couple times is you get a little tired sometimes going down that day hike section, and it starts to get later in the afternoon. So it's a good idea to get an early start. Yep. It's also good. I would highly recommend, even if you're getting tired, to go all the way down to the Escalante, because that very last half mile to a mile has got some of the neatest features in it, just scenery-wise, and the slot canyon in the bottom. That's pools. That's a beautiful spot that I would be unfortunate to get that far in and not finish it out all the way down to the Escalante. The Escalante River's pretty interesting too. Depending on your season, in the spring it can be quite high. Well, it's higher, we should say. It's never a terrifically deep river, but it might be 3 or 4 feet deep, waist deep even. But usually in the fall, which is when we've done it the most, it's only ankle deep to knee deep if you're lucky. But the river's beautiful, the Stevens Arch there at the bottom. And there's also, we didn't mention, but there's other entry routes into Coyote Gulch. We're talking about the full backpack trip. There's the crack route, which enters the canyon. You stay up on the rim on the road, and you'd have to look this up again, give you all the details here, but we'll have some links on the website. But you can drop in right there where the Escalante and the Coyote Gulch stream converge, and hike upriver a little ways and then go back out there. You can also come in off the rim at Jacob Hamlin Arch. That one has, both of those have some exposure.
Yep.
And for people who aren't experienced, or just for safety's sake, you may want to have a rope just to help people over some of the slicker and steeper spots. But those are both options too that we haven't described in the book.
Right.
So what else?
We've talked a little bit about seasons.
Yep.
You can do it any time in the summer. You're going to have more people there in the summer. It's going to be a lot hotter, but like we said, there's plenty of water. We preferred to do it in the late fall. We've been there as late as just the weekend before Thanksgiving, so late November. We had over boots on,
right,
to go through the water, but there were people walking it in tennis shoes and in Tevas. And so really that any time from early spring to late fall, I think is a great time to actually do the hike.
Yep. I think my least favorite time would probably be July and August, just because of the heat. And I don't think Coyote Gulch is one that's really susceptible to a lot of thunderstorm flash flooding, but it could flash.
Sure.
But just the heat, I think, would be the worst part in July and August. And of course, most people wouldn't probably want to do it in December or January. I think I'd prefer to do that than July or August myself. After doing it in late November, we actually had a really good experience then. As you mentioned, we did have the over boots that kept us dry. So, the cold wasn't really a problem. We had good, proper gear, down coats. It was just there was nobody in there hardly at all. We saw 1 or 2 people down low who'd come in, probably off the Jacob Hamlin Arch route, and they just hiked in and they went back out the same day, if I remember. Hardly anybody there. Beautiful. It's warm. I mean, it's 60 or so in the day. It's cool at night. You just get in your sleeping bag, and beautiful starry nights, and great time to go.
Yep. Well, if you can't tell from the length of our discussion on Coyote Gulch, it's definitely one of the favorite hikes that we have, and recommend anyone to actually go down and experience the
Absolutely.
the jewel of the Escalante
Yep.
National
Yep.
Monument. And just a reminder, we'll post a few details in the show notes underneath the video, so that we can give you a little bit of additional information. Also, a reminder that you can buy the book off of our website, 100 Hikes in Utah. And when you buy the book, if you want it personalized, we'll sign the book for you. And if you want it personalized, or want it addressed to somebody, let us know so we can do that for you.
Put it in the comments there when you purchase the book, and we'll put to whoever if you want to give it as a gift, or we'll write whatever you'd like us to write there.
Sure. And then in our next episode, join us next time. We'll talk about Fish and Owl Canyon, which is down in the Grand Gulch area on Cedar Mesa.
Yep.
And we'll see you next time.
Goodbye.
Thanks.